Wow. I'd like to welcome everyone to Roads Less Taken. It's a series of talks given by Asian Studies. Today we have Midianto, an artist in residence, with us for the week. And thanks to the generosity of the music department, Asian Studies, and with the help of the Center for Southeast Asian Studies and the Hawaii Gamelan Society. Midianto is here. Today, what he'll talk about is what led him to be a noted dalang and musician. And to let you know that Midianto is a noted musician, a noted dalang, who actually did a documentary film, The Shadow of Music of Java. He is currently teaching at UC Berkeley with a highly successful gamelan ensemble. Those of us here at the University of Hawaii Gamelan are really lucky. And just to let you know, this is our 50th anniversary. So 50 years of performing at the University of Hawaii. So this is a great opportunity for us to celebrate how long we've been here with Midianto, who's a great friend of the University of Hawaii Gamelan. And we're lucky to have Byron Moon here also, who is our leader, the director of the University of Hawaii Gamelan, and Dr. Ricardo Tremelios, who is instrumental in bringing the gamelan here to Hawaii more than 50 years ago. Some of us have been performing with that gamelan for 50 years, and we won't mention who. I'll turn it over to Midianto, who can tell us about his journey as a dalang, a musician. Pat?
Thank you. Good morning, Hawaii, and good where you are. Korea, Indonesia, from other sides of the world. Okay, it's been a privilege to get the invitation to be here at University of Hawaii, especially from Gamelan Music Ensemble and Music Department, University of Hawaii, Japanese Gamelan. This give me a great pleasure and time enjoying Hawaii with my family, not only to work musically with you guys, but yes, I do lots of sightseeing that's refreshing my life. Okay, yes, my name is Midianto. Thank you very much for Patty for the introduction. This was well done. I based at UC Berkeley, University of California, Berkeley, teaching gamelan there since 2004. So sooner or later there will be a position open. Anyone interested, just text me privately. And what is the most requirements they need it. Anyway, yeah, I was the generation of a gamelan artist, musician, dancer, or puppeteer, more than 7 generations. My great parents, what I heard, they own Katopra ensemble in the village. That's like maybe 1940s somewhere, or even before. So what I heard is lots of, if you have a gamelan or have any kind of ensemble, Katopra, wayang orang, the human puppets, or wayang kulit, or gamelan music, your house will almost every day have activities, people coming and practice, or even sometime as our houses become like shelters for people who want to learn, no need to go home or stay there, and helps my parents. That's the way. That's the way in the past people are learning how to become a gamelan musician, a dancer, or a puppeteer, because school is not exist yet. Conservatory academically in Indonesia, School of the Art, Music, Dance, and Theater is established only from 1964. So before that, maybe including our mentor, Mr. Susilo, who's teaching here for a long time, I don't think he ever go to school because the school doesn't exist at that time. So you go to the palace, because the gamelan, Japanese gamelan music or dance or theater, the source, the best sources is from the royal palace or from the city. So, but there are gamelans and wayang and other arts in the villages, but it's like a jamming kind of group, the songs they play is very simple. Everything is very simple. So no word of no theory of musicianshiply is not there, because those people who play in the villages is not being trained to require music fundamental. Then yes, when you are generation of the puppeteer, first shadow play, you will be automatically learn from your parents without learning from anyone else, because a good puppeteer, my parents, my father, who was part of the documentation at Smithsonian, so he was the dalang there. So the Indonesian government trusted me in that year 1991, trusted me to bring 15 groups from Indonesia, from Wonogiri, to perform every day for 3 months at Smithsonian.
Wow.
Yeah, they put us in the hotel for 3 months. And my father's also one is very known, dalang in Wonogiri. He performs, if it's a good month is like June, July, August in Indonesia, because it's dry season. He performed every night, those 3 months, never. There's no one night gap and take a nap. No, it's just that's why I learned to be the dalang. Automatically, I learned the story from that performance and the language or a narration. And the narration mostly in that year, in that decade, is using a language is called Jawa Kuna or mixed with Sanskrit. So I even don't understand. Even I memorize, I don't understand what's going on. But that's lots of dalang too, including the text of the singing. It's a very old Japanese language. In even until now, how many dalang understood the? I doubt that it can be more than 20 dalangs out of 1,000 and understand the meaning. So that's how to become dalang. Then you have to practice every day how to hold the puppet, because the puppet movement is very important. It's not only talking, it's not only telling the story of Mahabharata and Ramayana. That is what the base story is from Indian epic Mahabharata or Rama and Ramayana. Manipulating puppet is very important. So you have like a screen, small screen to practice every day at your house. That's what I do, and it's hard. So wayang to be a dalang, you can learn from school nowadays, or without learning from school. Doesn't mean you got your doctorate in dalang, and then you will be good dalang, and that's not guaranteed. But if you even drop out from elementary school, but you have the genes, you have the the transformation of divine God, it might call from your parents, then without going to school, automatically you will be known and a good dalang. So that's just about the wayang. The requirement to go to school, yes, you will know the theory, you know the method of how to talk, how to handle things like that you can learn from school. But to be famous, an example is just like Michael Jackson or Stevie Wonder without going to school. He's on top of everyone, right? So that's what it is about Japanese artists. It's like that. Yeah, I start play wayang. My first wayang, we call it first performance. Or if you want to become dalang, you have to disumpah or disumpah, celebrate or be crowned first wayang. You perform. That was when I was first year of high school. I performed accompanied by my father's musician. So that time you have to do that, to become a dalang. We call it kapyaan. Kapyaan is like to invite people. That's okay. This person is going to be a dalang. Hopefully. so regardless you're going to be the good dalang puppeteer or not, you have to do this kind of ceremonial performance one night. And that's what. And then I perform a lot before I left to America. In Indonesia. So I was mostly how was my wayang performance become active? That is from 2000. From 2000, recently in Indonesia, I performed a lot. The my musician from Indonesian Academy of the Art, so they're all very high quality of musician. And the reason that maybe village people ask me to perform a lot is because my musician is authentic, young, authentic, and superb. That's why I was become known to be a dalang in that time. And then I like it to start to perform there because it's so fun. Then I gave up because after I graduated from my degree from Lewis and Clark College, Portland, on my M.A. Master Art in Teaching for foreigners, actually. That's a very then I was wandering around in America, going back home because it's hard to find a job for sure at that time. And on the way to Indonesia, that's how I first time know the gamelan here at University of Hawaii through Kauru, through Mbak Cynthia, Ravi. That's how first time. Cynthia and Ravi. Ravi was my student back there in California, and then and then I met Kauru. And there's some kind of a festival at UC Berkeley, if I'm not wrong. When also Sarah Weiss was there. Then Sarah Weiss at that time was visiting or postdoctoral at University of Sydney. That's my connection with the University of Hawaii, Kauru and Sarah Weiss. So I owe them. But sorry, I don't have anything to give them right now. But just my word to be wealthy and healthy.
Thank you.
Then yes, Sarah Weiss invited me to the workshop at University of Sydney, and that's how we get to know each other. But then I was jobless from when I was graduating in 2000. I went home, but I enjoyed to perform this one. And then again, Sarah Weiss, the one who informed me that UC Berkeley, there's a job position open for gamelan teacher. That's from Sarah Weiss, actually. Now people listen from here. If you don't know how you get to Berkeley, it's from Sarah Weiss. And I applied. So and then, but before this is I'm telling my resume first, okay? I was teaching at UC Berkeley for a couple of years, and then Bonnie Wade, if you might. So I was whoever credit I credit whoever can help me. Bonnie Wade, who's that time was the ethnomusicologist at UC Berkeley. Midianto, we cannot pay you more than this unless you pursue your degree. So that was way on 90s. Yeah. So that's why I pursued my degree, and from Portland, and this thing, yeah, the job search, I apply, and then Bonnie was, is this Midianto 10 years ago? So because he was yes, yeah, then Bonnie, what really you want to play? Well, you told me to get out from my job here at UC Berkeley. First time I have to get some degree to get it. I got it right now, and then oh, you okay? You got the job now. That's how I got to UC Berkeley, the connection, and I know good friend of Ben Brenner, Lisa Kuhl, and others. Richard Wallace, even I think Richard Wallace now is in there, and he's watching now. Because he's here. So that's my story to come here, and then I'm known here not only to be dalang and okay. So about the dalang. The reason I was very curious to work as a good dalang, to be a dalang, it's because I got punched by Mr. Harja Susilo. Punched on the face, my face, really hard. First wayang I did was 1988 at UC Berkeley. That time I was as an exchange visitor for San Diego State University, where I met Richard Wallace first time. UC Berkeley invited me to do wayang for 3 hours, and then the drummer import from Hawaii, it's Pak Sus. The first rehearsal, because I was still young, I'm not curious much about to be dalang, and that's just it. And then after first rehearsal, me and Sus stayed in the same hotel in the front of the University of Department of Music, and then Sus called me. This is never happened to somebody like Sus is call somebody to deliver what he wanted to do. If you want to be a professional drummer, you have to study hard. He said that to me. I can help you. Wow, never happened to Japanese a gamelan teacher like that. But Sus, so what's it? Okay, you script this cannot be understood by English audience. That's for sure. So from then, all of the narration, it seems he wrote it to me, or even including the joke. All of the jokes I got it from Sus. I use it until now. That's from Sus. And
that's a problem.
and the jokes actually is very delicate because my English is not, and the joke is for the American audience. So the English is really, I don't really understand. But when I memorize and then say that, people laughing. People laughing sorry. What's so funny? I mean, what's so funny? It's not funny to me because I don't understand. But wow. So this is the story behind me to become that. Sus is the one who encouraged me and write script. So that is why I travel a lot in America. To be dalang all over in East Coast, whatever. April, I never been in Berkeley. Every weekend, never. There are some places. It was because Sus is helping, but just honest thanks very much, Mr. Susilo. That's actually I'm not the dalang. Actually, the dalang is Mr. Susilo borrowing my mouth. Just delivered from his script. So that's I owe him lots of things. So that's what's made me become a dalang. But I have something from Indonesia already in the background. But to be, because I'm here in Indonesia, I can say whatever I want. The audience understand, and here just follow Sus really well done. So I thankful to them, and that's becoming. I'm a regular guest here at University of Hawaii, because then my relationship with Pak Sus very close. It's just impossible in the reality. Two gamelan teacher, like I come here to University of Hawaii in the gamelan room, and you guys taking lesson, and Pak Sus just sitting there and watch me how to teach. That's impossible happen. Put two teachers in one room and just let somebody, okay, you take over. Never. Teacher, between teacher to teacher, they are very stubborn, or very stubborn, or very ego to hold their own position, But Sus is not like that. So I was really, yes, go teach. And okay, lunch break now, I'll take you to Manoa. Have a barbecue and then bring back. So I never see this kind of personalities in the world. As a Japanese teacher like Susilo, I miss a lot. I'm sure you guys miss it.
Yes,
it's so that's how, and then become almost every year, right? Before the pandemic, right? It's coming here, and that's why I met Barbara. But Rick, I met Rick Terminus, that's not mostly is not here. When there's SEM, he's always there, and sometimes I play wayang for the SEM. Did you come to the Emory? Yeah. See, there's a wayang, and then Sus was the spontaneous translator. So instead that he's transferring what I'm talking, so we just love each other, because when he's translated blah blah blah, and then I said no, I don't think so. They thought that's the right translation, and so we make a joke to one another. That was fun. It was fun that day. So yes, that's my wayang. Then gamelan. Why I like gamelan? The reason I want to be gamelan, that's again, I listen my house, every day there's a gamelan group, rehearsal, different groups. So when you have gamelan set in Indonesia, your gamelan being used from different group, different purpose. So I heard that a lot, all the times. And then from the elders, I forgot who told me. You know why we are playing gamelan? If you want to play gamelan, make sure you're serious, because gamelan is insider knowledge. We perform not for the audience. If the audience like what we are doing, that's good. But we perform for ourselves, to pacify our own mind.
Pak Sus told us that all the time.
It's the same thing, because the gamelan is the place to learn how to become a being manners, politeness. It's only the gamelan. And the Japanese culture, politeness is the most important thing that you have to have in your life. So an example of being polite in the gamelan, first, you take your shoes off outside the gamelan room. When you go to the gamelan room, you sit, cross your leg and behave. No matter what song you play, sad song, happy song, funny song, you have to be in the center. Sample of your seriousness. And when you do the concert, the audience sit on the chair, nice chair, even sometimes stairs. Yeah? You sit it down there to show them that we are a humble being. And the humble being doesn't mean you humble being that you're not knowledgeable. It's just being humble. That's a part of the gamelan. Then, from the text of the singing, all of the text is all just being polite, saying good things in the high level of language. Pun word, lots of pun, lots of have to be answered with the detail. That's why there's school of music of gamelan. The job is, part of it is to describe what's the meaning of this song. Why the pun? Parape sang smorop, and so on. If you translate directly, there's no meaning. This text. Some texts, or some texts from 16th century, and this is all Japanese. And sometimes even translated, it's your own perception. you guess because you don't know what is the composer really want. That's what we're missing. An example also each titles of the song, right? What's the meaning? It's nothing to do with the feeling of the song inside. Like Tiro Tomato, got angry elephant. Is the sound like angry elephant, It's not, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like Gambir Sawit. Gambir Sawit is part of the batik patterns. Yeah, that's to do batik. So what is that something to do with the song? It's no connection, right? It's no connection. That's maybe the only my guess. While he was composing, it same time thinking about the batik, something like that. And then of course some songs are very, very sacred that came to the composer with in the past lots of song in the gamelan song before you compose you doing a purification. Purification is like try to be a hermit to get the balungan, to get the nuclear theme balungan. You have to be fasting and go to somewhere, go to the cave if you want, if you wish, or to the edge of the beach or on the top mountain and so on, in order to get that thing. So some song it's in history they have this is from the Southeast Sea. Somebody was meditating in the South Sea, in the edge of South Sea, and get this melody, something like that. And every time we perform that kind of song with lots of pray, purification, selamatan, another word. Yeah, so those other things. And so yes, I like the gamelan music because it's a place to learn how to become a polite person and to pacify our own mind, and others is also being open-minded, being not too ego, as you know. Or if you never seen gamelan, Japanese gamelan, there's no soloist, right? It should be equal balance of sound. This is reflection of Japanese life. That's equal rights, equal rights, and no one should be speak louder than others. Leader, who's the leader in the orchestra, Japanese gamelan? Drum. Yeah, but it's only the name. He have no authority to do this. It's only name by the drum, because the tempo, what the drum set have to be compromised with other instrument. Is this tempo too fast for you, or is this tempo too slow for you? So it should not be too slow, too fast. Should be everyone enjoy, and that's it. That's to be called a good leader. And in other words, if you're the leader, the head of the village, you cannot just say, okay, tomorrow everyone come here, blah, blah, because we have to do this. No, you have to have meeting first. You have 2 meetings and have agreement. Is tomorrow going to build something there or whatever? Where is the money coming from? Can be talked. It's like the kendang. Yeah. So this kind of life societies, the background of life society in Indonesia is all delivered in the gamelan. And also, the transition, the transition from tempo to tempo in the gamelan music, it's nothing compared to other music. Gradually. So this is telling us a feature of our life. You have to do something with step by step, slowly. Yeah. So if you do like from here to there, certain depth, something is not right. An example, let's take an example of my son, who's now 5th grader, but his work now is considered 7th grader. So the principal, next year your son can go skip the 6th grader, just go to the 7th grader. Yeah, but in a way it's good. Thanks very much for the appreciation of that. But he's going to miss all of his friends in the same classmate. Whoa. So we're missing something, you know. So because it's called sudden death, right? So don't do that. So you have to be there's steps, you know. It's no matter what no step, you know. Even you're a good drummer, know all of the music, but you have a beginner punang player. So you have to adjust it to the punang player after the punang player, you know, catching you, you know, something like that. Because if you do that and everything going smoothly, if everyone to follow the most experienced person, you're going to sacrifice one another. The punang player is going to be very forceful, and you're going to be very frustrated. So it should be, that's the way. Also, the end of the clock, right? Of the condition. When is the big gong going to come? Everyone waiting for that, right? See, that's the way of life. Wait, what will happen? You know, the gong players too long. I have to hit the last note now. People will come. Very wrong. Yeah, very wrong. Yeah. So the best, the playing gamelan is again a culture that is very communal. You have to listen to one another. Even somebody's mistake, you have to keep that person who's doing mistake room. Otherwise, if you do the right thing but is not following that person who's playing mistake like gong on the right time, then if you play earlier, then you're the one who make mistake. No tolerance. See, no tolerance. We tolerate one another. Japanese gamelan. That's why I like it. I like it, Japanese gamelan. And yesterday I was saying to you, Cruz, very wrong in the gamelan. That's wrong. And I feel so good to say that in the room because I never say that outside. Just being polite all the time, being nice. If it's wrong, I don't want to say wrong. But in the gamelan, I have to say you're wrong in order we're going to have a good feeling together. So one word should be very hateful, but in the rest after that, everyone happy. Okay, so no, nothing. It's wrong.
I know that Pak Sus used to tell us that even if you're a dancer in front of the gamelan and you have this really beautiful costume on, you are not the most important person. Because without everybody behind you, you would not be there. I think that's something that Pak Sus always taught us, and you've just reinforced that, which I went, oh, I guess he was right. You know? And then he also told us that I remember he was working with Mas Byron, drumming, and he was learning Minat Jingle, right? And I had taught Matt, my son, the dance. And so Pak Sus came to me and he said, oh. And first of all, I was like, he said, boo, he called me boo. Oh my God, that's like an honor. But he says, boo, is it okay if I work with Matt on this dance? And I thought, why is he asking me? I'm his student. He doesn't have to ask me, but that's the kind of person he was. But so the dalang or the puppeteer must know the music, must understand how the gamelan works, must know the stories. And you also have to know dance because the puppets dance. So how do you gain all that knowledge? Just by learning? And I have to tell everybody here that we are very fortunate because with Pat Midianto, it's a family affair because his wife is here and she's a thindan and a dancer. So she will be performing for our concert. And his 11-year-old son is helping us out because he can play gong. And you laugh, but that's a really important part because if there is no gong, we're all like, so, and I'm assuming that he learned that by sitting in and not you dictating that he should learn something. That's fine.
Yes. Let's echo the Sus as a dancer in the front. There's like superstar on the stage compared to the musician that's the background. If he's not thinking that, even I'm dressing like this, but I'm not the most important. So the back there who's playing, accompanying me is very important too. It's a word that came out to show you that that person is very, very polite. See, yeah, very polite. So if it's not polite, you try to, dang, you're not loud enough. Play louder. See, you have time to say that, but again, we to be trained not to hurt anyone and not to be ego. Japanese gamelan music is endless knowledge. Endless knowledge. I'm still learning something. Still, do not make any conclusion about Japanese culture. It's endless knowledge. Wilujeng is like this, blah 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 blah. Wrong. Don't make conclusion about Wilujeng. There's so many different kind how you teach Wilujeng, right? So that's why endless. It's the song is the song is just for fun to play in the classroom, or the song is for the concert, or the song is for ceremonial. These are different contexts. Every song, and that's part of the endless. And the endless. Oh, you're playing too fast this time now. Yesterday was slower. Well, it has something to do what you have breakfast before. So it cannot be, all the time like that. It depends the drummer of the drama, and how loud, how precisely you play correctly. It's where did you coming from before to this gamelan room, where you have like a very hard class before. That's it's so my encouragement when you play gamelan, put everything in the back and just empty your mind and let's do something like nothing else. But if you play gamelan, the gamelan room, and 10 minutes before you play gamelan, you park wrongly and you got the ticket and you're thinking about, oh gosh, I got the ticket. You screw up everything. Should forget everything and focus on the gamelan. That's not to have to be clear mind, very clear mind, and not to be ego. What is the other question?
Oh, about your son learning.
Yes. The song what we just listened, the Talu we just learned last week. Yeah, and there's the gong players gong is very difficult. You can say this kind of song. It's the main, it's very. But the person who played Dr. Henry Spiller, supposed to be, he went to Holland. So I just asked him, my son, you play gong? I'll try. So I just give notation and just mark here, play this, and that's it. I'll try. That was it. Yeah, that's it. And this, not only this one, last concert, spring, last fall. Dr. Spiller is not joining us, so he have to play the whole song. My son, for the concert, and he got it. He got it. It's because of that, the lesson was, and automatically instinct is there. Right.
So he grew up with it.
He grew up. Actually, he's not really, because he have his own world. He's in America. When I have rehearsal, he's very rare come to rehearsal with us. He's mostly play his iPad with game or whatever. That's nowadays, right? But then if you force him, not really force him, can you try this? Play gong. It's because the gene, yeah. That's what it is. It's easy. It's easy. Very easy. Yeah.
But I think just being exposed to it is beneficial because Matt and Mike grew up in the Gamelan. They used to sleep by the gong. And at one point, Dewa told Matt, the music's already in here. And we went, oh, okay. And I remember early on, Mike could tell when the gong was off. But they never played. They never played.
What I afraid that my son I don't bring to the class. I have 4 classes, 85 students. I'm taking Gamelan. The reason I don't bring him with me to the classroom, if my student did something wrong, he laughed. He cannot help, and that's no. Why are you laughing? You just play somebody playing kanong, playing gong wrong, then just like that. No, I better not to harm. So it's dangerous, in environment. Government say that. I cannot help it. I mean, I just hear the ball of kanong in the wrong place. I cannot help that, not to laugh. See, it's in here, right?
Right.
Yeah. So that's but I don't know where he's going for his life. That's up to him. Because even I'm doing wayang or gamelan, my parents never told me that I have to become a gamelan musician or dalang. So it's up to you. My second son is an English major. See, it's nothing to do, right? He's taking English major, second year university. My first son just graduated in composition.
Oh,
Yeah, he's in composition from Gamelan. So that's related to me. This one, the one that you just saw, I don't know what he wants. He almost teenager. He's 11.
Yeah.
11 they start like, you know what? Tell me what to do. That's okay. So what are you going to do? Yeah. So when you hear that word, it's a common. Common 11, 12 years old say like that. It's very common. But you have to listen to me at some point. He lived in American culture, okay, not Indonesian culture. If it's in Indonesia, it's different.
So, Pat, what are some of the challenges of teaching Western students?
Oh, yeah. Well, okay. So, all that question, I remember now. The challenge to become a dalang?
Oh, yeah.
You have to memorize the story first, the whole night story. You have to know the voice of different characters. You have to know the level of language each character. Are they penguin or commoners or armies? They speak differently. This is how hard to become dalang. I wish I become a lawyer, but I will not qualify to become a lawyer. So anyway, so that's very hard because the pitches of the wayang, the one character here all night long, when this character is there, should be the same sound was the first time it came out. That's the hard thing. Yeah. And then singing have to be what you call it, a perfect pitch. If the kender is not giving you pitch, you have to sing it right there. Otherwise, people will. And then and nowadays manipulation. Before just walk, and I know it's like karate and everything, it is it's another skills that need to learn, So of that, sometimes you have to be goddess, sometimes you have to be God, sometimes you have to be king, sometimes you have to be clown, sometimes you have to be homeless, the way that they call. Sometimes you have to be nasty as ogres, everything. You have to transform yourself to its character. But actually, it's not, this is the theory of to be dalang. I'm not transforming my characters to that. I take these characters into here. So people think that I'm transforming to here. No, actually, you have to learn that 1%. Put it here, and you are him. That's very typical. lots of dalang because the rhetorica. Lots of dalang don't care about the rhetoric. They're all the same. The clown, the kings, musically, all the same, plain. Yeah. But some dalang is very, very, very clear. Yeah, this is not just the rhetorically, but also the pitches, right? It's beside that. So. Very, very. An example. Ngaturaken sumeng kemeng pangapek dikunjuk wonten sahendak pepoto paduka sinuwun. Whiny, right? Whiny. This is the transformation of a Japanese woman is very whiny in the past. It's just you know the creature in the kitchen we say it, but that is in the past because it was it's always only give me $5 this morning, but I have to buy mango, I have to buy juice. What can I do with? You see, like that. But nowadays, what can I do with the $5? Like that. So it has been changed, and then this is characters. Sing gedhe pangapuramu, wong ayu. See. Man sound and woman sound, this have to be changed immediately. That's the hard thing. It's not. Sometimes the dalang don't care about the rhetoric. Sing gedhe pangapuramu yo wong ayu. Ora dadi apa? It's all man, right? See, they're not thinking. Not thinking. That's very, very typical. And then suddenly, Punokawan is so different. You guys should not argue about it. How can you talk like this first and then it's suddenly like that, That's very hard. That's very hard. So how you control? Yeah, you need to practice. Sometimes dalang, when you want to be dalang, when you're alone and then somebody hurt, people say that is he crazy? When you're learning the part, because it sounds like he's talking to somebody, but the answer is from himself. See, you have to be crazy. You have to be crazy, Satala. Okay. Yeah. It's hard. What was to hold the question?
Okay, so you do the voices. You need to know the stories. Mm-hmm. I've heard.
Okay, to the voices. Yeah. This is the hard things. Because you have to sing beautifully. And the categories to become a good dalang, there are 5. Humorous, good storytelling, good manipulating, good voice, and musicianship. For sure, you are the director of everything. Mm-hmm. That, So the voice is like an example, at least like this. I'm not a good voice, but at least dalang is like super voice, and that you cannot learn because you have it, right? Mm-hmm. This cannot be forced. You learn to make good sound. And so on. This is to accompany somebody get angry, but if somebody get relief from the problem and then just wait a second. Andrahing kaang puspito harum kasiliring samirono mri. Expression, right? It's different. Or the stubborn and just suddenly, and then also sad, Actually in the gamelan or wayang, when you do the sad song, in my age when I'm in high school, we're not allowed to practice. Just have to be on the right way there. So the sad song we're not allowed to practice in the past. But right now, if you don't practice, how do you know, right? So it's become everything, the sacredness is no longer there, right? So it's getting modern and modern.
Okay.
Or even sometimes if there's a scene is sad and the dalang is sing that sad song, even the musician or the something, oh come on, no, it's enough crying. It's almost 3 o'clock. Let's go and like that, we confronting this kind of life. So culturally also change, purposely change.
And then the question that I asked also is, what are the challenges of teaching Westerners this tradition?
Wayang I never teach to Westerners. If you want to learn the story, blah 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 blah, I don't teach you. But if you want to become dalang, go to Indonesia. That's But if somebody wants to learn wayang, before you learn wayang to be a dalang, at least you have to learn the music first, because you're going to the leader of the everything, conductor, everything, the performance. That's for the dalang. It's very very hard. This is the difference. Okay, to be dalang puppeteer in Indonesia, musically, those 5 things. Yeah. But in here, if you're just a great storyteller, that's it. It's not involved music. You don't worry about the music. The way you deliver the story and can be understood by the audience, the kids especially, that's fine. You don't need to be sure. And this one, to be puppeteer, Japanese puppeteer, every character out to the screen has to match with which canon, which compose. This is very hard.
Yes.
Very hard. Gong. If you don't know the song, the way you plan it is in the wrong place. It's at least when it started with FC and gong. You have to know where to go. That's there. Now the about the wire. So I don't teach. I don't have student for dalang.
Yeah.
I don't want them to compete me. That's other thing. But for the music, it's very challenging, especially teaching gamelan for beginners. Very challenging. It's because one, they never heard what's gamelan. Secondly, dealing with the tempo. When the transition from irama 1, irama 2, tempo 1, tempo 2, it reminds me when I was learning ski, how to do skiing. I know how to no stop, whatever. I will stop until I hit something. That's very difficult for Western to stop gradually. The most difficult is for the panerusan ensemble, the instrument. When you're supposed to change the densities, when you're supposed to change the ratio from irama 1 to irama 2, that's very difficult, right? You have to guess. But I always make things easier for them. You no need to be there right that time. You can skip 1 bar and then put yourself in the next bar. That is okay. Gamelan is not military. Left, right. You have to be, when it's right, you have to right, it have to be at that time.
Yeah.
Gamelan, no. Okay. So, I skip this one. And then when you feel, my density should be, that's fine. Okay. As long do not use the theory of train being derailed. When the train is derailed, it's involved lots of things to put it back to the railroad, right? But for gamelan, no. When you derail, you listen and come back anytime when you want to. That's that is very very difficult. And the simple thing become difficult for beginner. Even just damping take time, right? Take time. Okay, hit the first note, leave it ring, and then stop at the same time when the next note being hit. So like next time, stop there. But some students, because it's too frantic to accept this kind of strike, so they play the same together. right? It's common everywhere, happen like that. And even okay, let's practice damping. I know what you're going to do. I know it. You're going to do that now. No, we'll try. Okay, let's go. Let's try 1 and 2 and 3 and go. And that's what I said. This is instinct for non-gamelan players. When you tell them to damp, yes, damp, but at the same time, not after one another. Yeah, like that. Or sometimes it's not even damping at all. So that's hard. The hard thing. But it's only a couple times. I mean, it takes time. So when I'm very, very happy to teach non insider. So I'm very happy because I'm glad because my master is on the master art in teaching for non. That's also it's work. So otherwise, the proof is how can you get 85 students? Every semester. This one, 85 students is only the one who passed the test. There are almost 100 didn't pass. But take in mind that gamelan is a music for everyone, whether you have musical background or not. You can learn. But if I don't do the audition, they're all sleeping in the gamelan room. With 200 students because there's no instrument, right?
Yeah.
So I feel guilty not to accept them, but also if I accept them, all of them, there's no instrument and it's just end up cell phone and this is going to be the public. Why my gamelan is very popular at the class student think because it's an easy grade to grade it. But easy grade, but it's only one chance. This semester, no matter what you do, I give you a good grade. Because you're not doing a good job this semester, even a good grade, don't take the second. So automatically I delete the one that I mark very carefully. So one chance, that's it. Not 3 strikes even. One strike because of competition. But at least they learn that. So no difficulty actually. The difficulty of the teaching Western because in the end, lots of students play panerusan in my group there, and the good news is I have one section that's only music major and minor. It's amazing. Music major got interested in playing gamelan. That is amazing. What they learn actually, what they like about Japanese gamelan, they taking my class all the time for music major. It's not because easy how to play for them. There are lots of theory behind it. Lots of the densities and the rule of the why it's called adrang, why it's called ketawang, and so forth, and why the bonang doing this. When you see this balungan, this is the same balungan, but why the playing is different? No, it's the same numbers, but it's a different. So one of them have a dot on top or bottom, right? It's the way it's different how you do it. So my encouragement. When you write notation, make sure the dot in the bottom on the top have to be there. Because this is a clear guide to the bonang players or to gambang or to rebang. Without dot, it's just 3 to 1 section. And for the professional, they don't know, is that low or high? They will ask, But if you put the dot, they know how to treat it immediately.
And I know that you do drumming for dance also, right? Because you have to know, for the puppets, you have to know dance. And the patterns that you play, as a dancer, I'm listening to you. And you're the connection between me and the gamelan. So that's an important role also, that you also know the dance.
Okay. Yes. This question, Actually, I'm not a dance drummer. I'm a wayang drummer. Yeah. For Kelenengan musical, okay, but for wayang, yes, I'm a. So when I play kendang for wayang for drums, so some element is like wayang. The dance drummer should be straightforward and clear to follow the dancer. But as a drummer, when the dancer do something movements, he knows that kind of movement is this kind of drum. But especially also when it's angkor, thing like that, this is all fixed. It's all fixed. Even I can drum even without looking the dancer because it's fixed, right? Sekarang is fixed. Yeah. So, and the movements from the puppets actually vice versa. Some movements derive from the puppets, some movements from the dance. Yeah. Especially cakil, yeah. The cakil nowadays, the dancer adopted from the wayang kulit. Yeah, something like see wayang kulit mostly like that. Human being can do what our angle is big, but because the wayang kulit can do whatever. See this is what she's talking about. Yeah. See, that's from wayang kulit. It's hard for human beings, but it's cool when it's wayang kulit, right? Human being, it's hard.
Does anyone have any questions?
There is someone in the webinar wants to ask, so I think I can give access to this person to ask directly. Mr. Richard Ward, you can have access to ask your question. Please.
Okay, that's me.
Oh,
I have a question for you. You said that Patsus taught you all your jokes in
Yes.
English.
Yes.
Did he?
So all of the jokes that you heard in my show, you have been in 1,000 show of mine. All of the jokes was created by Patsus.
Does that include all the fart jokes?
That's one myself.
Okay. Because we all know that Patsus always had a very clean mind.
So the fart is because only smart do that. Lots of dalang back home, so they translated from Indonesian performance. So the smart always also fart, but the acting I added by myself. The one that got fainted because smell of the fart and then collapsed. that's mine. If it's Indonesian, only very loud fart. That's all.
Thank you very much. And also, I remember your son when he was very small. He would not let his mother sing Bisinden in the Gamelan. He would take her away to the back room.
Thank you very much for reminding. Yes, Danan Jaya, when he was 2 years old, and we have a rehearsal in our house, and his mother singing. He put his arm into his mother's mouth, and then bring her to the room. Yes, correct. Yeah.
So when did he start enjoying the music?
Well, at the same time when he doesn't like his mom to sing, but he loved the music already because when we rehearsal and the music stops, he cries. Keep playing. He doesn't want that his mom to sing. That's all. He loved already Gamelan because when we stop, he cried. Play more.
Thank you.
She just want to sit on her laps all the time. That's what it is. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Dr. Chimeos.
Hi, good to see you again.
Good to see you, sir.
I want to go back to this year. You mentioned the idea of spirituality in Gamelan, and you think it's sort of been lost. When the Gamelan came from Java, The first years, there were times when the gamelan played itself. I mean, there was nobody in the room, and you could hear it. Could you say something about, is that something that is fairly accepted, common, and does it still happen today?
Very common, yes, very common. Thing like this occurred, even it's still today's. Firstly, recently my own gamelan, that's ministers, I built it in 2000, 2000. And then in the past, my own gamelan. This is true story. I'm going to tell you this. Of course, each gamelan have that kind of thing. Not each gamelan, but most have something. Because to make gamelan is not easy without involving spiritual. It's no way you will be in the front of 1,000 degrees of the fire and you still alive, right? Mm-hmm. So there's some kind of spiritual how to prevent not to get burned from that 1,000 degrees of charcoal and things. So, but anyway, so this story. When I was teenager, my father told me that when my father is going away, okay, I want you to stay here with your friends, blah, blah, blah. But don't touch it. Don't ever step over that gong, because often our gong is after performance not put it together because for the next evening, but have to be get out from the track and just put it on the floor. And he said that don't ever step there. What? Why? Okay, I'm not argue with him. Just okay, we'll do. But I'm curious. So I'm curious. Yes, I have 10, like 11 years, 10 years old, something like that. Let's bring the gong together. Put in the nice space that I can jump back and forth. Yes, that's what it is. So I jump back and forth. Nothing happened. What is my father told me? See, nothing. And then my friends ask me, why you want to do this? Don't worry, I try exercise. The big gong. 3 days, up to 3 days, I cannot go to the bathroom. 5 days, still cannot go to the bathroom. Very hard. And then I talked to my father. I can, you told me not to step over that gong. Yes, did you? I cannot go to the bathroom because I did it. It's 3 days. And he said, 2 more days. And then the 5th night, the ritual cloning. The next morning, ta-da! And relate to this gamelan song. My gamelan, yeah. So my gamelan, when I built my house, when last Sarah Wise and Pak Andy Sutton came to my house because there's a wedding of my last my sister, and I was using that gamelan, and the gamelan that's now is at jail. It's Sarah Wise bought. But beside that, I have my own gamelan in my own cover. This gamelan, that the one I have is still. Of course, in Indonesia, no matter what you have, it's not servant, you have helpers, right? Pembantu, yeah, always. Midnight, my helpers, heard somebody play gong on the 2nd floor. That's my camera. I put it in 2nd floor, and he make coffee for me, bring it up, because hear the gong, he think that I was playing gong. Nobody there. Many times. Danan Jaya, the one who's 11 right now, when he was 3, he saw somebody through the stairs to the gamelan room. He told me, if he's not told me, he told his mother that I saw somebody walk to the 2nd floor to the gamelan. And this gong thing is not only happen there, sometimes kendang, yeah. Then yes, that's still occur. And for the all spiritual people, That's, because I'm, Japanese culture, you always close to the spiritual, Asian, always talk. Gamelan, no matter where you put the gamelan, when there's sound the gamelan, the spirit coming closer. This is for the old people, yeah, for spiritual. They like gamelan. And in my area, there is we are in Pirin Mountain. When I was young, I remember somebody playing gamelan, the whole set gamelan. I was with my friend, because when you kid and you obsessed with the gamelan, any gamelan sound you hear, you just try to go and listen and watch. We walk long time, yeah, miles and miles. Where's that gamelan? Never there. And then some people know should be in that mountain, that sacred mountain. Always, sometimes the sound of gamelan people hear, but it's impossible this kind of time and hear that kind of gamelan. It's still there. So gamelan is actually it's to bring you some kind of that's why this is a gamelan Kiai Gandrung. It's Kiai Gandrung is a sir in love, or manly in love, whatever. Yeah. Because of the name, it can occur in the reality. You know what I'm talking about?
No stories, Patty.
Okay. So gamelan is very, to me myself, is very powerful kind of arun, yeah, very powerful. It's not easy to make the gong. When you make the gong, there's lots of ritual being done, and if you're lucky, you get the sound. If you're not, no sound at all. No sound at all. How can you? I say it, and it's many times. Happened many times. I saw it. I learned how to tune the gamelan like this to the big factory, to the empu, and yeah, sometimes the gong is no sound at all. They doing the same process, the same whatever. It's no sound.
Well, I know for sure that Byron and I have heard the gamelan play by itself. And it was the Gender, and it was, at that time, nobody knew how to play it. And so we were both like, who's in there messing with the gamelan?
Yeah.
But we heard it.
Okay, so, and then the reality, sir. Whether you practice or not, actually, if you practice on this thing, the spiritual thing or magic thing, something can occur. If you don't practice, no. It's like the pigeon. When you go to the park, you throw the bread to the pigeon. The pigeon comes. If you don't, there's no pigeon. It's just like that. You keep offering to something that you might get what you want. If you don't, you don't.
Do we have any other questions?
Thanks for sharing your story. And so you mentioned in the US, you found out teaching the theory is works very well for the students, in UC Berkeley. So I wonder, what is the original way to you learn or to teach originally
Well, the beginning gamelan were originally teaching is jamming. Yeah, placing on a bar, udan mas every night. No need theory to be learned. Everything is oral. That's in there. But gamelan, Japanese gamelan especially, the sources, the most authentic Japanese gamelan is not from the villages, from the palace. Okay, the palace you can learn how to sing Three Blind Mice. But if you want to learn Beethoven Fifth, you have to go to the conservatory. The song that need more, detailed theory analysis. It's like that. But so when you learn orally in gamelan, it's only limited to very simple songs. Complicated song, you have to look at it. As what I said yesterday, how can you memorize 256 beats per gong if you don't see it first? Impossible. And in the villages, when the beginning, you're not there yet, right? So academically, to learn more, then yesterday I wrote on the board, visually, yeah, how many beats per kenong, thing like that. It cannot just be oral. Lancaran can be oral. Because then when you write the theory there, why the kenong is sick? Because this is a blah, 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 why? So you have connection. You play these pitches because followed by this, but without visual written, if it's just orally, if you're not genius, it's hard to understand right away. So written, but again, written is only guide, but you have to memorize. Yeah, in the end, you have to memorize. You're welcome.
Are there any other questions? If not, thank you, Pat. Do you have any last words for us?
My last word, firstly, thank you very much for the University of Hawaii, the Gamelan plan. It's been nice to invite me and my family to have a refreshment in my life. The most important as a Japanese culture enthusiasm, Gamelaners, there's no destination to learn about this knowledge. It's endless, especially when you start learning beginning. There's lots of theory. Why is that? Why is this? And yeah, so Dr. Tremulous and Dr. Wallace and the rest, this message, I try to be brave, message that I delivered to ethnomusicologists around the world. Make sure when you do research and your conclusions accurate, because your dissertation become a book and your book become the mentors of your student. I don't want your student or whoever read your books that, oh, this is written by Dr. Miller, should be correct. And then no, I'm not going to listen to you, Midianto. It's because this is a PhD. I know. But so just to avoid that thing, just be careful to make conclusion, not to narrow down of the opinion. Yes. So this is broad. So this is like anthropology and classical art like this. It should be very broad. Every decade it changes. Every time change. What I teach yesterday, today will be changed. Okay, let's do this better. Keep changing all the time. And especially the Indonesian culture, classically. Indonesia is the youngest nation in the world. We just independent 1945. From there to now, the dramatics of changing is so cool. But anyway, sorry, my criticism about this, but I also thankful to the ethnomusicologists because you are the one who start to spread my culture outside in Indonesia, regardless what you wrote in the first time. Yeah, regardless, just Japkuns and others, well, if you read it right now, right? So, but it's still a good information to spread my culture widely. So I appreciate that. And the last word is it can be better. Right? So there's a progress. Thank you very much.
And I'd like to remind everyone that we have two more actually workshops coming up. One tomorrow at the music department at 12:30, talking about appreciating wayang kulit. Then on Friday, over here at the UH Dance Building, we'll have a Javanese dance workshop at 12:30 with Bu Henny. And then, of course, we invite everyone to our concert on April 1st down in the music department amphitheater to see Pat Mid as Dalang and musician, and Penny Dancy. And C, the UH Gamelan, that's been at this university for 50 years. Keep that in mind. It's been continuously performing for 50 years. That's a long time. So thank you again. And thank you for the Center for Southeast Asian Studies for helping run this session, the music department, Asian Studies, and the Hawaii Gamelan Society. Thank you all.
Do the evaluation post webinar evaluation for us. Something.
I'm just, thanks for the push it. This is the record I never did on download.
It's something we can